Yo guys, hope you're doing well. Yo, what's up guys? I hope you guys are doing well. Welcome to the very first episode of Healthy Habits. This is a series I've been planning to do for a long time to build this channel around and to create more videos because this channel is dead. And more importantly, to, I don't know, show you guys habits that I think will improve your life because this is something I implement in my life and hopefully I could, spread the knowledge and stuff like that. Disclaimer, I'm 18 years old, so like let's not pretend like I know everything about life. This is just based on a short-lived experience. So, yeah, take this with a grain of salt because I don't want people like, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Yeah, I'm the first to tell you I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm a young man and this is based on short-lived experiences. But even though I still think that this should apply to anybody because, you know, I read books. I think I'm smart. I think. This episode, we're going to be focusing on a habit that I think is responsible for a lot of success and I think leads to a happy life. And this is the habit of controlling the controllable. This is not a habit that is as tangible as reading books or drinking water and stuff like that. This is a habit that is more of a mind thing. It's more of a philosophy, I guess. So in this life, I believe that there are things that happen to us that are out of our control and things that, we have no power over, like the country we're born, the socioeconomic status of where we're born into, the characteristics of our parents, disabilities that we might be born with or disabilities that we might have later in life. This habit recognizes all of that there in life there are things that happen to us that there's nothing we can do about it, but it still places an emphasis on what we can control, the things that we have influence over, the things that are most easy for us to influence, things like our environment's attitude and our habits. Let's start with Dr. Martin Luther King. This was someone who couldn't simply wave his fingers and, make racism and Jim Crow laws disappear. Instead, he used what he could control, his influence. Dr. Martin Luther King was born into a middle-class family where his dad was a pastor and had a bunch of connections to the church. So, using the influence that he had from his family, he began to organize boycotts and protests to fight against the system that oppressed the black people. In this case, King used what he could control, what he had influence over. He was very lucky to be born into a family of influence, and he used that to garner support and fight for something that he really believed in. He controlled what he could, and by controlling what he could, he achieved something that has influenced millions of people around the world. Our second example is David Goggins. David Goggins, if you don't know, really nice story. You guys should go listen to him. He has podcasts on the internet. Go YouTube and search him up. But David Goggins was a guy who was a 300-pound man who sprayed cockroaches for $1,000 a month. He became the 36th black man to graduate from Navy SEAL, and now he's one of the best ultra marathoners around. By controlling his diet, his work ethic when it came to exercising, he completely reinvented himself to this monster that you see right now. This wasn't a guy that grew up with the best genes or the best home life or the best gym training equipment or the best gym training partners. He used what was at his disposal and look at him now. Now let's use an example from this book. This is How to Change the World, Social Entrepreneurship. We're going to talk about Verna Kosa of South Africa. She's a social entrepreneur from South Africa who has been caring for AIDS patients. And here, let me read this excerpt from the book. Kosa had been a nurse for 37 years. She thought she had seen everything in her day. But that year, 21% of the babies in the Pretoria AIDS Center tested positive for HIV. Now, this was something out of her control. So what did she do to make this situation better? She recruited retired nurses to help and ferried them around in her car. And this is something she said. There wasn't any planning. It was an emotional response to seeing problems and just reacting and saying, I could do something. I can help. People cannot just be left to die like dogs. Something needed to be done. She had to control something, control the controllable, like recruiting nurses, visiting settlements. There was a lot of improvising, she recalled. Things would run out, but you cannot fail to dress or wash the patient because there was no lining. You always had to do something, even if you had to use a sack, as long as that sack was clean. I think that was when this knowledge of actually using anything to comfort the client came in. This is a social entrepreneur who lives in one of the most poorest countries in the world, and she did what she had to do. She controlled the controllable, and by doing that, she has made a significant impact in the fight against AIDS in South Africa. And then there's me. How do I control the controllable in my life? Well, let's say I'm trying to grow this YouTube channel. So what I could control is the quality of videos I produce, the consistency I have with my videos. And that's by me not having the best camera, the best tripod, or the best, as you can see, studio or something. I control what I can. I use my phone that I have, and I set my phone up in a tripod. If you can see, it's set on a book and stuff like that. And yeah, I try to use the best lighting I could use. With, if you guys can't see it, but it's natural lighting, and I turn on the lights in my room so I could, produce the best lighting. So yeah, I'm just controlling what I could control to produce the best YouTube videos. It puts you in the driver's seat of your life. In life, I think that a lot of people lie to themselves about the things that they can control. There's so many things, especially in the United States, in this country, where individual freedom is, the main thing. There's so many things that we can control within our lives, like the friends we have, the influences we have, the news we listen to. Let's say there's something in life you're not satisfied with, and let's say it's your body. Make sure you're not comparing yourself to like IG models and stuff like that, because you never know what they might be going through to keep that body. They might be doing some like fucked up shit to keep their body clean. And also make sure you're not like, eating irregularly or doing unhealthy things to keep your ideal body shape. But let's say you don't like your body though. See what you can control to improve your body and stuff like that. You could go to the gym, you could improve your diets, you could take in 6,000 steps a day. If you don't have a gym, run. If you can't run, walk. If you can't walk, do push-ups or something. Notice there's always something like that you could do regardless of the conditions that you have. Let's say you're broke, you have no money. Well, focus on why you're broke. Is it because of your spending habits? Is it because you don't have a job? Then see what you can control. Okay, maybe I can control my work ethic so that way I can ask for a raise at work. Maybe I can control my spending habits. Maybe I can control this, that. So try to see where or what things that you can influence your life to make yourself not broke anymore. I'm sure you have seen videos of people who have no hands or no limbs and are doing like amazing things, or you've seen a video of a kid with autism or something, deadlifting. I've seen videos like that, and I'm like, wow, some of them can lift like more than me. So imagine you, who probably has a hand and who's probably in perfect condition to exercise or something, and you're not doing it. But then you see other people in life who are in a position that's way lower than you, and they're doing higher things. Get your shit together. Two, it prevents the victim mentality. In society today, there are so many people who want things easier and done so quick, and they just give up, and it's just like they let life push them around and stuff like that. There are things that happen in life that they can't control, but they don't take a hold of what they could control. And this usually leads to a negative outlook of life. You know the saying, when they give you lemons, make lemonade? Well, do that. And the third and final reason is I believe that it leads to satisfaction in your deathbed. When you're in your deathbed and you know that you're born in, let's say, poor conditions, and you control things that you can control, and let's say sometimes maybe you do become, financially well off, or maybe sometimes you don't. At least you have the satisfaction in your deathbed that, hey, I tried my best, and like it didn't happen. That satisfaction of trying your best, I believe, it's good. You know. Okay, so I was writing the script for this. I have two quotes that I really think that are really nice. The difference between today's version of you and your dear future version is the thing that you can control today and do in small increments. Or the difference between something you want to change, maybe your marriage, your community, all starts with what you can control and what you can do. Or let's say you don't like the way your community is run. Maybe you could run for office. You could start picking up garbage from the ground. You could, talk to the people. Something that you could do today, and something that's all in your hands. Just do something. Before I let you go, I want to read this quote from Viktor Frankl. Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the last of the human freedoms, to choose one's attitude in any given set of circumstances, to choose one's own way. And this is a guy that survived the Holocaust and stuff like that. So I think you guys should listen to him.